It's nearly impossible to find someone who isn't familiar with Brazil. Even without having visited, many people are acquainted with the country, often associated with its prominence in soccer. Located in South America, Brazil is notorious for its vast territorial expanse. It's one of the most sought-after destinations on the continent, alongside Argentina. Tourists are drawn to its affordable cuisine, vibrant nightlife, and rich cultural diversity. Despite its immense land area of 8.5 million square kilometers, two Brazilian cities are particularly magnetic for visitors. We will explore these two iconic cities to capture the true essence of Brazil. We'll start with Sao Paulo. This metropolis, with a population of 22 million in a country of 214 million, is not only one of the largest in South America, but also ranks among the top 5 most populous cities in the world. For comparison, cities like Shanghai in China, New Delhi in India, and Tokyo in Japan, with 38 million residents, have even larger populations. Thus, Sao Paulo, with its immense population, is a hub for numerous topics and discussions. It encompasses everything from the most dangerous areas to the liveliest parties in Brazil. If you're curious about its location, Sao Paulo is situated in the eastern part of the country. Brazil, a country of vast proportions, is divided into states, similar to the United States. Sao Paulo, the city, is the capital of the eponymous state and is located in a mountainous region in the southeast. It serves as the financial, commercial, and industrial hub of South America. The state of Sao Paulo even has its own flag. Although the city isn't on the coast, the sea isn't too far away. It may not have the fame of Rio de Janeiro, but it is extremely influential and is often mentioned after Rio. Viewed from above, the city is impressive. Sao Paulo is crisscrossed by rivers and has many tall office buildings. Traffic can be chaotic, especially in the middle of the day, and people are always on the move. Its architecture reflects Spanish and Portuguese influences. The climate is warm year-round, leading Paulistanos to opt for casual clothing most of the time. In Brazil, there are few restrictions on this, and people enjoy the freedom to walk the streets. In the streets of Sao Paulo, music and the rhythm of dance are always present, creating a vibrant atmosphere. Even on cloudy days, the city's residents maintain their festive spirit. Despite the country's economic challenges, the people of Sao Paulo find reasons to be happy. Regardless of the weather, people engage in fun activities. If you're alone and have some money, it's easy to find company in places like these. Paulistanos have a relaxed approach to life, seeking pleasure in their daily activities. There's a strong sense of self-confidence and body acceptance among them. Looking at the faces of Brazilians, you'll notice that many have lighter skin. This is due to the intense European immigration, especially from Italians, Portuguese, and Spaniards, which has significantly influenced the local genetics. Therefore, it's possible to notice a certain similarity between Brazilians and Europeans. The urban streets stand out for their cleanliness, and even with the hustle and bustle of crowds, this city goes beyond the realm of soccer. There's a unique vibe in the air. Colorful graffiti, many of which express dissatisfaction with the high cost of living, adorn the facades of buildings. Here, people have an aversion to staying at home, preferring the streets, which remain busy into the late hours. On nights when the Sao Paulo team plays, it's common to find numerous Brazilians gathered at various spots watching the matches. The local average salary ranges from $600 to $700 per month. For those thinking of moving to Brazil in search of financial opportunities, even a metropolis like Sao Paulo may not meet expectations. On the other hand, the cost of rent in the city can reach around 5,000 reais, which is approximately $1,000. In attractive residential areas, it's common to find immigrants from the United States and Europe. Additionally, due to the relatively low cost of living, foreigners from these countries can access luxuries in Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro that are often out of reach for local residents. Public hospitals in Brazil offer free medical assistance to permanent residents, a significant benefit, especially when compared to the high healthcare costs in many other countries. In Brazil, there is a notable preference for red meat, similar to the enthusiasm for asado in Argentina. Despite economic challenges, Brazilians' appreciation for red meat remains strong. English is not common, so to adapt in the major Brazilian cities, it's essential to learn Portuguese. The most charming aspect of Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro is the warm, friendly, and genuine nature of the people, providing a welcoming and authentic experience. Despite its struggling economy, Brazil stands out for its welcoming attitude towards foreigners. Looking at Sao Paulo, the impact of the economic situation is evident. The minimum wage in Brazil hovers around $250, and the unemployment rate reached approximately 8.5% after July. This economic reality is strongly felt in Sao Paulo. High tax burden and limited purchasing power are constant challenges in the city. For example, an iPhone 15 Pro Max, which costs $1,100 in the United States, can reach over $1,800 in Brazil due to taxes, making the country one of the most expensive places in the world to acquire this product. This economic reality is reflected in the numerous favelas and the presence of homeless individuals in Sao Paulo, including large favela neighborhoods like Heliopolis. Residents of Heliopolis often face discrimination in the job market, a direct consequence of the country's social and economic disparities. This phenomenon is observed both abroad and within the country, especially in neighborhoods like Heliopolis, which are often stigmatized as dangerous. Avoiding these areas is common advice. A careful observation reveals the complexity of these neighborhoods. In several favelas, the night can fall in complete darkness, but in Heliopolis, in Sao Paulo, the streets shine with LED lights at dusk. In these favelas, many women have succeeded in installing streetlights. Residents often resort to illegal electrical connections, using electricity clandestinely, or tapping into the national grids through an intricate network of illegal commerce, often under the control of gangs. The lack of government support, evidenced by chronic underfunding, leaves these neighborhoods in precarious conditions. As a result, many inhabitants find themselves in desperate circumstances, and in the absence of alternatives, they may end up influenced by local gangs. The favelas in these neighborhoods are characterized by two-story buildings, often without the decorative paint seen in more affluent areas. Exposed bricks on the facades and poorly maintained roads, dotted with old vehicles, are common. Basic sanitation systems are rudimentary, and some areas emit unpleasant odors. However, the beauty of these places is revealed in the hopeful smiles of the residents, especially the children, who display a strong will to live. In these communities, many children dream of becoming soccer superstars, a viable dream in a country where soccer is a national passion, with many success stories coming from favelas in both Brazil and Argentina. Another charming characteristic is the strong sense of community unity. Residents look out for each other and mobilize collectively against any external threats to the neighborhood. About 30 years ago, these neighborhoods were sparsely populated, considered isolated and neglected areas, where only a few families resisted staying away from the urban center. Today, it is estimated that over 200,000 people reside in the favelas of Sao Paulo alone, demonstrating the remarkable evolution of these communities. These neighborhoods represent the most underdeveloped areas of the cities, with poor infrastructure. Over the past 30 years, there has been significant migration from rural areas of Brazil to metropolises like Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro, driven by the search for work and a better life. These migrants, with good intentions, were seeking stable jobs and a dignified life in the big cities. However, they faced difficulties in dealing with high urban rents. Unable to completely leave the city, they occupied vacant land in hilly regions, building favelas on their own, turning these areas into densely populated neighborhoods. If they hadn't moved to the cities, they would have remained in rural areas, where living conditions are often more challenging, in some cases comparable to the hardships found in regions of Africa. In the cities, especially in Sao Paulo, favelas have become marginalized and often dangerous areas. Visitors to the country tend to avoid these neighborhoods due to their negative reputation. A foreigner entering these areas is likely to be met with curious looks from the residents who are not accustomed to the presence of outsiders and show an interest in understanding the reasons for the visit. The term favela for the local residents represents a large community with close bonds. They are aware of the difficulties in their lives and prefer not to have their conditions exposed to the world through filming. The poverty in these areas is so extreme that some families choose to send their children for adoption in developed European countries like Italy through international adoption programs, seeking to provide a better future for them. In this context, Rio de Janeiro stands out as a vibrant epicenter of Brazilian life. Being the second largest city in Brazil, surpassed only by Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro is also the capital of its state, with a population of around 7 million people. What makes Rio de Janeiro unique compared to Sao Paulo is its coastal location, providing direct access to the sea. This allows its residents to enjoy the beaches without the need for long car trips from the city center. Despite appearing close on the map, the car journey between Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro takes approximately 6 hours, or 1 hour if done by plane. Brazil, with its vast territorial expanse, surprises many with its size, and the distance between Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro is approximately 500 kilometers. If you have to choose between visiting one of these cities, Rio de Janeiro may be the more attractive option. This city is known as the heart of Brazil's entertainment sector and is famous for its welcoming population. One of the most vibrant places is Leblon Beach, one of the most frequented spots in the country. As you walk along Leblon Beach, it's impressive to see that the crowds are constant. Interestingly, many people go to the beach not so much for swimming, but for sunbathing or socializing with friends. Thus, it's common to find adults engaged in games or simply gazing out at the sea. Depending on your cultural background, you may be surprised by the atmosphere on Rio's beaches, where it's normal to encounter a more explicit level of nudity. Brazilian women, known for their glamorous and bold style, tend to express this characteristic even more on the beaches. Women of all ages in Rio de Janeiro often adopt a bold and revealing beach fashion style. This can be charming or uncomfortable, depending on personal taste. For couples visiting these areas, moments of jealousy may arise. Besides the beaches, the city offers other fascinating attractions. One of them is Sugarloaf Mountain, from where you have a breathtaking view of Rio de Janeiro. For adventure enthusiasts, there's the option of a cable car ride to even higher points, offering a spectacular city view. Another icon of the city is the Christ the Redeemer statue, one of the 7 wonders of the world, located in Rio de Janeiro. Additionally, every year between February and March, the famous Rio Carnival takes place, an emblematic event in the city and one of the largest celebrations in the country, considered the biggest carnival in the world. People from all over the globe visit Brazil to experience Carnival, where the samba performances in Rio de Janeiro are a spectacle in themselves. We look forward to your return in the next video. Goodbye for now.